Hey, we are live, Mark.
We are
We
live. Look
are
at that. Imagine that. A second ago, we were alive, but not live, and now we're alive and live.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on Self Publishing Insiders. I'm Jim Azevedo, and once again, I am thrilled to welcome my friend and colleague, Mark Leslie LaFaves. We have a lot to talk about today, don't we, Mark?
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
I'm doing well. We've got
We
a lot to
do.
talk about today. I heard an echo. Echoes are fun.
I know. You know what? I think I've got the video open on another screen. I'm just going to mute and go find that. I'll fix that tech issue, and that's probably what's happening.
No worries. So today we're here to talk about the Smashwords uh, July summer winter sale. Now, this is just a massive, massive sale. And it's massive. I mean, there are other sales out there who claim to be massive, but this sale is the massive-est because number one, we have more authors and more books involved. There's going to be there's well over 100,000 books that were involved in the last sale. Probably more around the neighborhood of 120,000 ebooks that will be on sale. There are thousands of authors involved, but here's the thing. The sale lasts not for 1 week, not for 2 weeks, but for the entire month of July. So that's what, 31 days of books and book shopping and binging for some of today's hottest, best-selling, most buzzworthy authors out there in the industry. So today we want to talk to you about the sale and then how to best position yourself and your books to become more visible, to attract more readers to your books out there.
I'm
And he's
back.
back.
I'm back. I'm sorry. It took because I have 5 billion windows open. How many other writers have a lot of windows open? Let us know. But I had 5 billion windows open, and I had the YouTube one open, so I had to find it and go put it out of its misery. So sorry about that, Jim.
No, not at all. I've done that before, and I just automatically assumed it was me, to be honest with you.
But we have,
So,
yeah, the sale is coming on, and what I would want to encourage anyone watching live, if
yep.
you have any, we have tips. Some authors have sent us some amazing tips on what they've done to promote their books in the Smashword sale. But if you
Yeah.
have any tips, please drop them in the comments. We'd love to share your thoughts, and I mean, let's help each other out, right?
Yeah, and that's one of the tips right there, helping each other out. I think that's one of the biggest what's one of the biggest tips, one of the biggest best practices I've seen going back like literally 16 years from when Smashwords first started and we first started doing sales like this one. The most successful authors out there were the ones who collaborated with their fellow authors and got their street teams involved. It just became this big celebration, this big party of like, hey, there's this big sale happening. Help me promote this, and I'm going to promote your books. You can promote my books. Let's all talk about it. And it's just been wonderful over the years.
No, definitely. There's a few tips I think that make sense to share with authors about the Smashword store, and I missed. Maybe you'd already mentioned this, Jim, but did you mention that it was kind of like one of the largest growing retail places that we end up considering we drafted digital distribute to, even though there's still authors publishing direct to Smashwords from that platform as we walk through migration.
I did not mention that
Ah,
specifically. That Smashwords is one of Drafted Digital's fastest growing retailers out there. It keeps
yeah.
ticking up the
And you know what
graph.
I like about that?
What's that?
I like the margin that I earn in the Smashword store. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed that when you look at your
Can you be more
dashboard.
specific? Like,
Yeah,
really?
well, I get more margin. So, for example, I'm just right now. I'm just toggling over to one of my books, and I'm looking. I'm looking at the publish page for a book that I have priced at 4.99. And
Hmm.
so that usually means for most of the major retailers, I'm getting $2.97
Yep.
every time that book sells. But if you notice, I look at the Smashwords one, it says $3.86.
Like
So
a buck more.
yeah, yeah, and that's because two things, and I think this is really important for authors to be aware of is with the Smashwords store, because it is owned by us, what
Hmm.
we have to first do is pay for the compensation of the credit card fees, etc. But then we have the ability to give more of that back to the author. And I'm just toggling over to another screen where I thought I had a nice little, and I did post this in the Wide for the Win Facebook group. But so at the lowest rate, so and it's based on your shopping cart, not your price. Now on that publishing screen, we have no choice but to show you the based on the retail cost of your book. If you just sell one unit in your own shopping cart, that's what you're going to get. But it could be more, and here's why.
Yeah,
So
that's
if the shopping cart is 99 cents, which usually means it's one book in there,
yep.
that's the lowest margin you'll get at Smashwords, which would be, let me see, 56.78%. So 57% at 99 cents as opposed to 35%. So that's pretty good. Not too bad.
Yeah,
If the
not too shabby.
shopping cart, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all. If the shopping cart goes to $1.99, that brings it up to 69.72%. So it's practically at $1.99, it's 70%. So that's kind of cool.
Yep.
Of 44.99, like you saw, is 78.28%. But then if the shopping cart keeps going up, it once you hit $10, it hits 80% exactly. And then it goes up to 81% as you get to 20. But that's kind of a pretty exciting thing, because if you are collaborating with a bunch of writers who maybe all write the same genre, and you're saying, hey, it's my book and Jim's book and Lexi's
Yeah,
book and all these other books that are all in the same genre, awesomeness, because when you put us all together,
because awesomeness.
yeah, that could help out, and everyone in the shopping cart gets that higher value percentage, which again, I'm a big fan of more money in authors' pockets.
Yeah, and these checkout, I mean, that checkout level is pretty cool because during these sales, what we found, and one thing I haven't mentioned yet, Mark, is that these sales have been growing not only year over year, but every sale keeps getting bigger and better and historical. They've been breaking records. There's been more authors involved, more books involved, and that was starting to happen even before the Draft to Digital Smashwords merger.
Yeah,
And then once Draft to Digital and Smashwords merged, and Draft to Digital authors started, adding their books to the Smashwords store, then there became this influx of awesome new authors, and there are wonderful books. So now we're seeing along with that an influx of first-time customers to the Smashwords store.
yeah,
So with the last sale, this is really cool because the last sale was the Reading ebook week sale in March. That, of course, per its name, only lasted for a week, but that sale had the highest number of first-time customers at the Smashwords store ever in its
new customer,
16-year history,
really.
and it also had the single highest sales day ever in the 16-year history of Smashwords.
That's fantastic.
So
Yeah, new
yeah,
customers is great, because
new
a new
customers is
customer
awesome.
shopping the platform means more customers potentially to find other books by other great authors.
That's exactly right. And what they're doing here during these sales, that we could see it, is they're kind of like they're shopping around. Ebook prices are so low anyway, but during the sale, a lot of authors are dropping their prices down even further. There's almost 100,000 books priced at free today. Like here we are, almost 2 weeks ahead of the sale. But there's like tens of thousands of free series starters. Everybody loves reading series, and that
Yeah.
just really sparks reader interest and enthusiasm, and that the whole spreading of the word and the sale.
Well, you mentioned free, and I saw that Bria Lexer has left a question. I wonder if we should address that question now, since while we're on the topic of free, is
Perfect. Thanks for the segue, Bria. So, for those of you who are listening and not watching, Bria asks, "Is it better to have my book set free during the sale?"
well, you mentioned Jim first free in series, and so For me, I mean, free is good if you're wanting to get more reviews and just get more readers and hoping that the word of mouth is going to help them buy it on whatever. Because
Mhm.
again, if somebody reads the book on the Smashwords platform and then they tell someone about it, that person may go and buy it on Amazon or Kobo or Nook or Google or anywhere else,
That's a good
or
point.
request it from the library, right? Because that's what readers do, is they read
Uh-huh.
where they read. Um, I'm a fan personally as an author of that first free in series, because hey, here, try this world out, try this universe out. If you like it, I got more. Come on back.
Sure.
And again, as you mentioned, indie authors, the price is so reasonable anyways. But if it is part of the
Right.
sale, so let's say, I'll give you a perfect example, and maybe this could be a segue
Please.
into talking about one of the challenges right now, based on the all or none opt-in for draft to digital authors into the Smashwords store and some of the complications this could cause. But I take advantage of the complications. So I made all my books 75% off, because that's the only the option I have is not none, 25%, 50%, 75%, and I think 100%
Okay.
off. But that meant, because I'm also running a different promo in July with a book bub to drop a book one down to 99 cents,
Mhm.
because 75, anything that becomes less than 99 cents after the discount is taken
That's
gets
free.
rounded to zero.
Yeah.
But that means for the entire month of July, my first book in series is going to be free. And the other ones are going to be 75% off, 4.99 or whatever price they happen to be at. So I think that would work out well, because you can try for free if you like it. If you're a fast reader, maybe you start reading it, and then before the end of the month, if you want to get them all, you can go grab them for 75% off, or ask for them at the library. So I think, I don't know, that's something that I think can work well.
Yeah, and I think it kind of depends too, Bria. Like if you're a really well-known author, then maybe free isn't right for you. You can still do it to attract additional awareness. But if you're somebody who's just selling gobs and gobs and gobs of books, you can set your books to 50% off or 25% off even, and get away with it, or don't put your books on sale at all. But if you're one of those newer authors who's just, you're really trying to create some more awareness, or maybe you write series, then I would absolutely encourage you to experiment with free. You don't have to keep your book set at free forever, or even for the duration of the sale, but free still works as a marketing tool to help create awareness to your other books, especially for those of you who write free. Now, the data still suggests that series that have a free series starter sell better than series without a free series starter.
Okay, cool, awesome. Can I pop up the comment from Alyssa, asking a question?
Please.
All right. So Alyssa says, regarding free, I've always heard that it depends on your goals, rank versus bank. Can you explain that? Okay. So rank versus bank is a term commonly, I think, I'd like to credit Aaron Wright from the Wide Flowing Group for coining that term. But that's where I heard it the first time. And so the idea is, instead of focusing on, oh, I don't know, some river retailer where everyone's looking at how they're ranking on that platform, the world's
Yeah.
largest bookstore,
Yep.
instead of worrying about being in the number one spot with a free download or whatever, looking at how much money you're making. So rank versus bank depends on your goals, and that's a really important thing. Is, are your goals to be ranked high? Maybe because then other people will see it and read you, and then that can boost your sales,
Hmm.
boost your reviews, boost your visibility, so they can move into the rest of the series. Or are you just more interested in actually earning money on those books, as opposed to looking good or making money? It's why I
Yeah.
jokingly sometimes call my traditionally published books vanity publishing, cheekily and jokingly, because
Mhm.
yeah, I can walk into all kinds of bookstores throughout North America and see those books on the shelves. I make very little on them, so it feels good. Yay, look,
But it
my
feels
book's on the
great.
shelf. But
Yeah.
I'll get like $1 or $2 a year later if that book on the shelf sells. So it's the same sort of thing. That's sort of the rank is, yay, look at me, I'm in a bookstore. So that's kind of bank versus rank.
That's cool. That's one of the reasons why on the Drafted Digital bestsellers list that you publish every Tuesday, that you've separated these lists out
Yeah,
via units, unit sales, and revenue.
revenue. Yeah, yeah, and it's really funny because so you can see authors who like I think it was oh my god, Ashley. Oh man, now I'm drawing a blank. But she was the number one bestseller with a new release last week, and
Okay.
it was at full price, and it was a lot of units. So when you combine the lot of units and full price, and I mean full price is $4.99 for most indie authors.
Yeah.
You compared her sales, so she was number one in revenue, but I think she was maybe number three in terms of units or something like that. So it's still pretty high in terms of units, but it was kind of great to see her ranking in on both, which is the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And
That's
this
a
is
neat little
ranking
research tool.
on the Smashwords store, which we automatically do based on sales from across all retailers that we distribute to. And that's a really kind of cool thing. So even if, because some authors will say, but I haven't sold a single book on Smashwords, why is my book ranking? Well, that's because you distribute to Apple and Nook and Kobo, for example, and you had a lot of sales on those platforms. Therefore,
Right. And we have that visibility into
we're going to
that.
spotlight it on Smashwords automatically, and also it gets included in those top seller lists.
Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see. I'm looking at some of the questions here.
Lots of great questions. Yeah.
Yeah, keep them coming, everybody. And again, as Mark mentioned earlier, if you have any suggestions for your fellow authors about maybe some of the tips and techniques for things that you've done for your books that have worked either at prior Smashword sales or at any other bookstore sales that you want to share with the community here, please let us know.
Okay. Well, actually, do we want to pop up one of the tips that some authors from the community very kindly shared?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Let me find the first one. So we had a
Okay.
couple. Let me where did I put it? There it is. Okay, cool. So this this first one, and now Jim, we're gonna have to peek over it when I pop it up on the screen. But this first one from Melissa Wright says, "I like to include my full catalog at various discounts with at least one new, not perma-free title for free." Now, Melissa must be a Smashwords Direct author because she mentions various discounts. So right now, as of June 2024, drafted digital authors kind of have to pick one for everything. So that's, and we can get to that in a second. So Melissa goes on to say, I always link to the sale and note that it includes deals on thousands of books/authors. Some promo sites allow Smashwords links. So anytime I'm doing free sites starter promotions, I always link to Smashwords and list it as a primary retailer on my website, newsletter, and Linktree. Cool. These are great
Good
suggestions.
ideas.
Melissa says, I have a nice following at Instagram this year, so I plan to boost a post to the sale, like an ad graphic listing directly to the site. And thank you so much, Melissa, for that. Also shared.
Yeah,
So
thanks,
Melissa has
Melissa.
so many amazing books on her website. I went and liberated a few so you guys could kind of see the different styles and genres
Yeah,
that
great
she
covers.
publishes as well. And that'll all be in the sale this July as well.
And you know what I love about that too, Mark, is that Melissa, she's not just talking about me. She's also saying, go check it out. Look at all the thousands of other authors who are participating as well.
Yeah, exactly. And oh, and that's a perfect segue into some of the videos because we were going to talk. I'm just all over the map here, but you're making these segues so beautiful for me, Jim.
Well,
Um,
I'm a professional, Mark,
you are. You're just a pro. So this is a fantastic video. So Megan, who does author promotions, and I did a couple of samples that we kind of we're going to share here and shared with the Wide for the Win Circle group as well, asking authors to create videos that our social media team could share, and then they could share, and etc. So this came in from Bryn Winters, and this is an example, like you said, Jim, of an author who's like, hey, look, I've got this really cool book. It's going to be
Yep.
on sale. But there's also some other stuff. So let's check this out from Bryn.
Hey there, I'm Bryn Winters, author of Principal Hopes, book one of the Sprucedale Teacher Series, available at Smashwords. I am thrilled to be part of Smashwords' 16th annual July Summer-Winter sale, where Principal Hopes will be 75% off. It's the perfect time to get yourself a copy before book two comes out at the end of July. Get it now and treat yourself to some other reads at fantastic prices while you're there.
Wow.
Perfect.
Blew my mind when I saw that video, and I
Yeah,
got
same
Bryn's
here.
permission to share it here. So, wow, just amazing. But again, she talks about the whole sale, and then the cool thing is she's got book two coming out. So this is an opportunity for people to get the first book at a really good price, and then they can check out book two.
Now, did she happen to mention what tools she used to create that video for folks who aren't, used to
I
doing this
don't
kind of
know,
stuff?
but I believe Canva has some
Canva.
ability to do that. I know
Yep.
BookBrush has the ability to create videos with templates and stuff
Yep.
like that. So those are two of the ways that authors can create those videos. I mean, there's also, yeah. I mean, and it doesn't have. So this is a good example. While we're doing this, I'm going to pop up. Megan's, I think, is awesome. So
Oh, I love Bacon's. Yeah.
here's Megan. So Bryn, the example is an author who didn't want to do a video of herself. So Bryn
Mhm.
did visual stuff, but Megan's cool in front of the camera because she does lots of great social media, and so she just comes and addresses the reader directly.
Hi, I'm author ML Span. I write all things romance. So if you're looking for small town, coffee shop, curvy girl romance, then check out my series Coffee Cup Kisses on Smashwords.
There you go. Nice and short
Perfect.
and sweet and to the
Yeah,
point
like
too.
15, 20 seconds, if even that.
Yeah, absolutely
Nice and punchy.
fantastic. So yeah, so there's no one way of doing those videos too, and that's what I love is seeing the different ways different authors can create stuff like that.
Now, for
Uh,
authors who want to do this, all they have to do is just create that video, then post it on their websites, post it on the socials,
yeah,
blogs.
tag us, let us know. I did create a form for authors, and I'll try and find the link to it to maybe drop in the show notes in the comments, where if you've created a video, let us know, load the video, and then that way we can also reshare it in July as well. And I'm even I've put aside an entire day. I've put aside 12 hours one day to do nothing. But if authors don't have the means to record it themselves, I'll use technology like this, but it'll just be private, where I'll block authors into like 15-minute segments where they can come up and practice, and then everyone else disappears, and I just record them, and I get a video
Wow.
of them, and then we can add some music to it and add some logos and stuff like that. So I'll be doing that for authors who want our help in that video. But again, you can do your own as well. And yeah, I'll try and find the link. I forgot to prepare that for this
So
meeting.
cool, Mark. Do you still have availability on that schedule? I thought all those time slots to be taken.
No, they're not. And that's next what is today, the
The
20th? I
25th, I
think
think
it's
you said?
Tuesday the 25th. I think I have. So
Okay.
again, I am in the Eastern time zone. I think I booked from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. that day, saying, hopefully I'll have a chance to go to the restroom and get coffee and food in between that. But just to be available for authors. And I recognize there's going to be authors in certain time zones that's going to be prohibitive. But I tried to make it as wide as possible. Just
Okay.
to help you guys out, because again, we can make a video for you that doesn't have to be necessarily about this July sale. It could just be, hey, my book's available on Smashwords. Go get it on Smashwords. And can I show you an example of one that we did with William Brinkman as a sort of an early example of this, where William had provided some content, and this is just a generic one, and it has the universal book link. So the link
Ooh.
shows you the link everywhere, which I think is great because we want authors to sell their books everywhere. So here it is.
Yeah, let's check it out.
There you go. So you've
Love
got
it.
the book covers, you've got the universal book link as well. So I love the flexibility, because that's
Yeah.
one William may be able to use beyond the sale, because it doesn't specify what discount the book's going to be on, but it is these books are available on the Smashwords store, and so that's more of a generic universal one, which I kind of like.
I like how it's just a different style too. Like he doesn't appear on camera. There's not even a voiceover, but it still gets the message across. Like,
Yeah,
find
yeah.
my books here.
Yeah, and I think because the series is like the Babbler is like a reporter of fantastical UFOs and monsters, paranormal stuff, and so when you think about like a journalist typing, it kind of works. I think it works relatively well for the specific series that he's writing.
I love it. If you don't mind, I'm gonna bring up this question here from Laurel. Oh,
Oops.
too quick on a trigger finger here. From Laurel Decker, or Decker. Laurel asks, wondering how to collaborate with other authors and send readers or buyers to books that are similar to each other. don't want to send parents to a page with very mixed genre titles.
And that is one thing we are at Smashwords. We're very mixed genre, so we're open to all kinds of different fiction. There are flags. There are flags that readers can use to not show adult content. The more erotic titles that automatically, and I think by default it's turned off.
It's turned off,
And
right?
so if somebody wants to be able to see that, they have to enable that. So Laurel, and this comes up in another tip that was shared, but I'm going to sneak peek into it. But I know that there were some authors who were doing, how BookFunnel had a BookFunnel, amazing platform for authors. BookFunnel has the additional collaboration boards where you can collaborate. And I saw that one of the authors who suggested a tip went in and posted, "Hey, I want to collaborate with other authors who write this genre. Let's do something together." So Laurel, that's one way of doing that. Any other thoughts, Jim, on other ways that authors could collaborate?
Yeah, I've seen some authors kind of do an exchange with newsletters. So now, since this is a multi-month, since it's a month-long sale, one thing I've seen authors do in the past is like 1 week, one author will send an email out to her subscriber list, but include the titles of books and other authors in addition to her own titles, and send that out 1 week. And then the next week, one of the other authors will send out their newsletter list to their subscribers with a list of books. And once again, since this is a month-long sale here, if you want to switch out those genres from 1 week to the next week, you can do that to keep everything completely separate.
I love that. Can I pop up a follow-up question Laurel asked based on what we've been talking about?
Of course.
Cool. So Laurel says, thanks. You're welcome. I was wondering if Smashwords has a way to make a book list for recommended titles. So great question, Laurel. There isn't any sort of DIY tool for that. However, one of the things you can do, and this is another way I've seen authors collaborate, is you can go and create a reading list on books to read. And you can just include, you can include all links, universal book links in all formats. But if you wanted to just create a reading list on books to read, only include the Smashwords links to it, put all the books there, and then you send people to that books to read reading list page. And then that way you control where you're sending them. You know what I mean? And then you'll be able to control so they can click on each specific book for you and the other authors. And you don't even need their other authors' permission. Let's say, Laurel, that you write a particular style, like let's say you write cozy mysteries, and you know that there's some other great cozy mysteries on Smashwords and are in the sale. That you go and create your list and say, well, here are a whole bunch of great cozy mysteries. Obviously, you're going to have yours in there as well, and bam, you can share that. Or like Jim says, 4 different authors doing it for the entire month of July. Everyone picks a week, and they each send that off to their groups and also in social media. So
yeah, great question.
Yeah. Oh, and I have to confirm. William did say yes. The Babbler series. See, I did get that right. Is centered around a tabloid. See, I picked that up based on the series name and the cover. That's a really good example of author branding, right? And series branding that covers paranormal activities. So there you go. That's why the
Interesting
typewriter works well. Again,
that sounds like a fun series.
Yeah, I know it does, doesn't it?
It's one of the hardest things about working at DDD and Smashwords. It's like you find out, you hear about so many books.
Yeah. If only I could read faster.
I know. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't miss any.
I think you go right to the very beginning. I think we had a question about erotica.
Where'd you go? There it is.
Scroll up like 5 pages to get to that one.
Hey, Guillaume. Okay, for those of our listeners who can't see us, Guillaume asks, I uploaded my erotic comedies on DDD Smashwords this year in 2024. Previously, it was only non-erotica. How well does erotica do in the sale? That's a great question.
Do you have stats on that?
Not in front of me, but I can tell you that erotica does very well in the sale, like very well. It might even be number 1 or number 2. Like
I thought it was like erotica and romance are way up in the stratosphere typically, right?
So. Right. Yeah. So yes, Guillaume, it does very well. Get your books enrolled if you haven't done so already.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think erotica does do quite well in the sale, so that's exciting.
Yeah, and make sure you tell your readers too, Guillaume, like once you have your books enrolled, let them know, of course, but then let them know that when they're browsing the Smashwords store to enable that erotica filter that Mark alluded to earlier, it's usually, well, it's always in the upper right-hand corner of any Smashwords page. You'll see a button that says filtering. Click on that so you can enable erotica for
Yeah,
fans of
and that
erotica.
way you see them. You see the erotic titles as well. So
Yes.
should we just keep motoring through the questions?
Let's keep motoring through.
All right, I'm going to pop this one up. Dima says, can I reduce prices of my books on other platforms during this sale? So this is an important distinction, Dima. You can reduce your prices everywhere. There is a legality with all of the major retailers that says you can't have a cheaper price on any other retail site. So the big six, right? You've got Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Google, Kobo, Smashwords, maybe the big
Apple.
five, I should say. Apple, the big six. There you go. So you can't have a lower price on any other retailer. They all reserve the right to price match to the lowest price that is found on any of those sites. But this sale is a coupon sale. Your prices aren't changing. Your prices are remaining the same. That means that the discount is only applicable with the coupon code, and that in the history of Smashwords has never been a problem with any of the price matching because it's a coupon code. And I know, and Apple and Kobo and Barnes and Noble regularly use coupon codes. Google has DIY coupon codes as well, so that's never an issue on coupon codes. However, I am doing a price promo on a book one in series that I've made 99 cents on all retailers, and I think it's because it's in a Kobo promo for Canada Day, which we celebrate just a few days before you guys celebrate Independence Day in the US. And I thought, well, I may as well make it 99 cents for the whole month and see what I can do. I ended up getting an international BookBub deal, but for the Smashwords sale, it's going to end up being free, but it's 99. I mean, it's 99 cents on Smashwords. I mean, you could, if you choose to buy it without a coupon code, you can get it for 99 cents. So hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah, I think it did. Thank you for that. Since you mentioned, the big six and price matching and all that stuff, I think now would be a good time to bring up this question here from Randy, who asks, I have a book on Amazon, but
Can't
but
put
could I put it on your
platform?
but can't put it on your platform? Any suggestions?
Can't put it on our platform. I guess I'm curious as to why you can't put it on the platform. Is it because you're locked into Kindle
Yeah,
KDP Select and you're exclusive to Amazon until that tour of duty is over?
that's what I'm
Um,
assuming, Randy, that you have your book locked into
mm.
Amazon KDP Select. But
so my
you know what, Mark? Some
mm,
some authors assume they're locked in, like they assume they're exclusive when they're not.
yeah.
I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be locked into the KDP Select program specifically. But the other question, and Randy, again, answering this in your best interest, not in our best interest,
Right.
if this book is exclusive to Amazon and you're doing really well and making good money on it and getting new readers and all of that stuff, bank or rank, whatever it is that you're preferring, I would recommend not changing it because if it's doing well, why change it? So that's a thing to consider because again, we like to offer advice to authors that's again it's different for different people. They have different preferences and stuff like that. But that's what I would suggest to you. Now, if there's a reason you're not able to load it to our platform for some other technical reason, our support team, support at draftdigital.com. Please ask us. We'll do what we
Mhm.
can to help you with that. And if it is, the tour of duty on KDP Select is up at the end of August, let's say, then maybe if you're considering publishing it wide to all of the other retailers, that could be a chance to get it on our platform. And then maybe you'll participate in the next big sale, or you can DIY coupons at any time. We have the functionality for that.
Great answer. Thanks for taking that, Mark. All right. So it seems like people sort of like these videos that you showed,
Yeah.
and which brings me, if you don't mind, a question here from Mike.
Yeah. Where do I upload my video to?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mike's asking.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get that link for you. Maybe we can come back to that question in a second. I should have prepared this.
Oh, no worries. Poor Mark, I caught him off guard. Yeah, hold that question, Mike. We'll get back to you. In the meantime, even if Mark can't find that video or can't find that link, you can always upload your videos. Anybody just post them to your socials, tag us, then we'll help kind of spread the word out there when you do that as well.
Okay, I found it, Jim, and I'm gonna drop it in. I'm gonna see if I can drop it in. And where's he watching it from?
Oh, let me go back.
Was it YouTube or was it Facebook?
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay, so and it's posted to both. Sometimes it doesn't post to Facebook, but I just dropped the link to the form, the Wufoo form, where you can go and fill it out, and it gives you a choice. If you want to upload a video, you just say, "Hey, here's who I am. Here's the video I want to load, and here's any information you want to share about it as well." So that's a great.
Perfect. Thanks, Mark. Keep those questions coming, everybody.
Yeah.
And again, for those of you who have had success in one of the Smashwords sales before, or success in a sale anywhere else, let us know. Share some of those successes with your fellow authors here.
Yeah. Cool. And what I'll do is, I think I even made a video. So you got to see Megan's really awesome one where it's nice and brief and short, and there's no long old person pauses. I think
Mark,
I
I'm
edited
sorry, I
mine.
forgot to ask you for yours.
No, I think I edited mine, and mine's not bad. I think it's better because I think I went back and looked at what Megan did, and I chopped a bunch of stuff out. But this is one of the ones that I did as well. Hi, this is Mark Leslie, the author of numerous horror and urban fantasy titles, and I am so thrilled that you can get all of my books, including the entire Canadian Werewolf series, for 75% off in the 2024 Smashwords July Winter Summer Sale. And again, the one thing you'll notice is in that video, I put a books to read / Mark Leslie, which is kind of my author page for all retailers, because that's very generic. Even though I do talk specifically about the sale, and I didn't have the fancy pop up 75% off like Bren did, but
Yeah. One thing I want to bring up that we haven't discussed yet, at least I don't think we have, is that there is an enrollment deadline for draft to digital authors. And that enrollment deadline is June the 27th. So if you're considering doing this, make sure you get your books enrolled to the sale before June 27th so that you can be in the sale, get enrolled early, tell all your readers that the sale is coming, and just kind of use that extra runway to promote yourself and your involvement in the sale.
Awesome. Hey, Jim, I saw a follow-up from Randy that kind of helps. So Randy had asked the question. Randy says it's because that my publisher has all the uploaded PDF and EPUB. So Randy, you've signed a contract with a publisher. The publisher is publishing it. What I would do is look into in the contract. Did you sign world rights to the publisher? English language world rights? Did you sign just North American rights, US rights, Canadian rights, whatever the rights are? Because you do have the ability when you publish through draft to digital to say, and I have friends who've done this where they sold the rights to a Canadian publisher who's publishing in just Canada or Canada and the US, and they can come in and say, hey, draft to digital, publish this everywhere except these certain countries. Now, I have to let you know, because Smashwords is an international store, right now there is no ability to publish to Smashwords if you have anything but world rights for that, and that is something that will probably in the next year or so, as we continue to improve and expand upon it, we may add concessions for it, meaning, hey, if you're in the US you can buy it but you can't buy it in Canada, or whatever the case may be. So that's the one thing to look into with your publisher, Randy.
Great comment. Another best practice I wanted to talk about, Mark, and I see this happen all the time, and that's, authors are really, really good about drumming up excitement and buzz, leading up to a new book release or their involvement in a sale. But here's the thing. This is a month-long sale, and I know I sound like a broken record. The younger kids aren't even going to know what that means, but I keep repeating myself. But the reason for that is, don't go dark. Since the sale is lasting 31 days, if you drum up all this excitement for this sale, that's fantastic. But then typically buzz and excitement kind of last for a couple of days, and then they start to wane, and then people start to forget. Right. So, at least once a week, send some kind of a reminder out there to your reader base to remind them that your books are on sale for this month-long indie book love fest.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. And another question Dima
Oh,
asks
good.
is, to catch this chance of the sale, what's the best free and paid promotion would an author do to market their books during the sale? So a couple things. I mean, you could purchase, again, just ideas I'm throwing out there, purchasing a BookBub ad, specifically only linking to Smashwords, by genre, and that's one
Mhm.
way. Facebook ads as well, apart from your newsletter and stuff like that. But I have another tip from author who shared it, and I'm just going to pop that up on the screen.
Love it.
It'll hide us, Jim, so we can scratch our noses and stuff like that. So this is
We
from
need, we need
Elizabeth
those
Andre.
breaks, don't we, Mark?
Yeah, there we go. So Elizabeth says, things I've done in the past, shared information about the sale in my email newsletter. In addition to the usual summer winter sale discounts available to everyone, I've created one additional discount that is just for newsletter subscribers. And you can do that whether you're publishing through Smashwords to Smashwords or Draft Digital Smashwords. You can still go in and create a custom coupon. You can make it private and only give it to your newsletter peeps, so they get something extra special. Haha. So let's say, if the book's 75% off, but hey, or 50% off newsletter, people get it for 75% off for free or whatever. So that's a really cool thing that you can do. And Elizabeth says that works particularly well. And Elizabeth also says, I've collaborated with other authors of sapphic. And sapphic is a term, if you're not familiar, it's a lesbian queer fiction. And we've promoted each other. So this is another case of author collaborations, each other in newsletter swaps and social media. So it's kind of like Elizabeth may work with 6 other authors. I know some of the books that Elizabeth has published, there's been collections from different authors that are all like different stories on a theme. And so let's say you have 6 different authors with collected stories together. They may all share that from their various sites. And so also this year, this is, I think, the case. So Elizabeth has created a joint BookFunnel sales promo. So if you're a BookFunnel member, I'm just going to hide this. If you're a BookFunnel member, oh, I want to pop up Elizabeth's books so we can take a look at Elizabeth's books as well. I wanted to pop those up. But if you are in BookFunnel, I don't know when it closed or whatever, but again, a great tool to allow authors to collaborate. I know even the Wide for the Win Circle group has a tab specifically for authors looking to collaborate with other wide authors who have books on all the platforms. So that could be another place where, what's the deadline again, Jim, for draft to digital authors?
June 27th.
June 27th. So, I mean, you have more than a week to, say, hey, I write this kind of stuff. Does anyone else have anything? Do you want to collaborate together? That's another way that you can potentially get some more promotions.
Yeah, and then again, I would encourage you that once the sale starts and you start promoting your books out there on the socials, that's free. Use hashtags out there, like hashtag Smashword sale. One of them is here, I'll post it in the comments.
Oh yeah, because it comes when you enter the sale, right? Those graphics are there.
Right, exactly. We have some graphics for you. So use the hashtag there that I just popped up in the comments. Tag us so that we can help you spread the word and spread it around to everybody out there on the socials.
Yeah, I do, because I know our social media team takes a look at that stuff and can respond and forward and retweet or whatever the case may be. And I think Bryn used Bryn used one of the graphics. So when you enter in the sale, you come to a little page that says, hey, here's a bunch of graphics for different platforms, and obviously grabbed some of those and incorporated them into the awesome video that she made.
Yeah, on the DDD blog, there you'll find those graphics as well as swipe copies. So you don't even have to write stuff. We've got some of that stuff kind of written out for you if you need some help getting some ideas on how to communicate with your readers.
Cool. I love the term swipe copy. It reminds me of Swiper from the old cartoons my son watched. The Explorer, Dora. That's what it was, Dora the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer.
But swiper, no swiping was their catchphrase. But here, you're allowed to swipe that copy.
You're allowed. Absolutely, 100%. Take all you need. We're kind of coming down to the wire here already, Mark.
Oh my God.
Happens every week.
Wow.
Every week without failure. what do you have any other tidbits of advice, things that you've done, even things that you've done that completely fail that you would recommend people
Oh, that's most
don't?
things. Yeah, most things I've done have failed. I mean, that's the key. I've tried 10 things and the first 8 or 9 didn't work.
Yes.
So I kept trying something different. So I kept just trying different things, and sometimes something that works on a Tuesday doesn't work on a Wednesday, or vice versa, because you're too early or you're too late or whatever. So I mean, don't give up. I think is an important aspect. And again, maybe you've never had any action on Smashwords and just getting involved in this. And I think I saw a comment earlier on that said, I didn't have any, and yeah, I think it was early on. I'll see if I can find it and pop it up to credit whoever shared that. Um, uh, where is that? Oh, come on! I thought it was kind
That's
of cool.
okay. Well,
Um,
while you're looking
oh,
for it,
that's what it is.
oh, go ahead.
Ingrid, I set it free and I got 3 sales. Otherwise, Ingrid's sales were dead. So Ingrid is suggesting, and again, thank you so much for this, Ingrid. Putting your book on free really helped in boosting your sales. So again, you may have a customer who's never aware of you before, now is aware of you. They've grabbed your book. Maybe they're going to read it. Maybe they're going to go on to review it. Maybe they're going to tell friends. Maybe they're going to purchase other books that you have. So again, I'm a big fan of not giving up. And I mean, come on, you worked so hard on this book.
Yeah.
And there is an opportunity, because there are a lot of active customers and continuing to grow on the Smashwords store internationally. I mean, the Smashwords store is available in more countries than Amazon. So
Yeah,
we
we get
do have
business from
customers.
180 countries
Yeah, so that's
every year.
kind of cool. So not giving up is critical.
And one thing I want to leave the folks here with some encouragement, and one of the things I wanted to point out too, Mark, is that the Smashword store has been growing consecutively year over year for the past 8 years, year over year. So that started
Wow.
well before the acquisition of Draft Digital from Draft Digital even occurred. Now we
Yeah.
have like all these new authors and all of their awesome books
Yeah.
coming in. The sales, every sale breaks the last sales record. So these sales are growing and growing and growing. And there's more first time customers every sale as well. So Smashwords is kind of going like this in terms of ebook sales and awareness out there. And the store it's really bucking an overall larger industry trend where for ebook sales across the industry, they're kind of flat,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
But at Smashwords, they've just been growing and growing and growing. And we can thank all of you for that. It's this whole, I mentioned it before, Mark, this whole indie culture love fest that we've got going. It's the authors, it's the readers who love indie ebooks out there, and it's the indie booksellers as well.
Yeah. Can I answer a question that Laurel just popped up, because I think it's an impertinent
Certainly.
one? So if we use the D2D coupon tool to create Smashwords discount that aren't private, does that give us the ability to include some books and leave others out? Laurel, yes, for sure. You can do that at any time. The one thing is, though, is the pages for the sale are going to be automatically driven based on people who opt into the sale from the Smashwords side, from the Draft to Digital side. So you can still benefit from it and send people to those books, but they're not going to be able to find them in the sale. So I hope that answers that.
Cool. I want to leave everybody with this final comment here from Layla Rose. He says, excited for another big sale. Woo!
Woo!
Thanks for that comment, Layla. Oh gosh. Well, here we are, Mark, at the end of another funny.
I love when people are chatting with each other in the comments. That is such a great community that we have.
It's the best. It's the best. So we're at the end here already. I just wanted to remind everybody that if you could please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our nifty little channel here. It really helps us to spread the word and attract key industry insiders, experts out there to provide their advice and expertise to you week in and week out every week to see what's coming up next. Be sure to bookmark DDD Live so you can get a heads up on the next topic and the next guest. And finally, for those of you who are kind of dipping your toes into the self-publishing waters out there, why not sign up for your free publishing account at draft2digital.com. Smashwords.com. Mark, thanks for joining me here today. You always make these go so much more smoothly. You have such a vast take knowledge. Your experience in the book industry is just so far surpasses my own.
We're all in this together,
And publishing and everything else.
but I do want to say thank you to the authors who shared some tips with us and allowed us to share the tips,
Yes.
allowed us to share their videos to show the awesomeness of this author community. So thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. For everybody else, we will see you here next week. Thanks again for joining us today. We really appreciate your time, your attention, and your questions in the comments. We will catch you all next week. Until then, we're going to leave you with this quick 30-second commercial spot for DDD Print. See you next week, everybody.
Ebooks are great, but there's just something about having your words in print. Something you can hold in your hands, put on a shelf, sign for a reader. That's why we created DDD Print, a print-on-demand service that was built for you. We have free, beautiful templates to give your book a pro look, and we can even convert your ebook cover into a full wraparound cover for print. So many options for you and your books. And you can get started right now at draftedigital.com.